You hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slay, they shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slay, they shit on you. Kill them.
Oh my goodness! Did he say they cock it on them?
Hate the style of defense.
Well, good Saturday afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. And let me remind you that this video is brought to you by BetUS. Remember to use the promo code YouTube150 to get up to 150% matching, up to $2,000, up to 3 times. And of course, our Cowboys are off. They're off tomorrow, of course. So I guess my dad won't be losing any more money on them, at least. But I think he's going to be taking the Cardinals tomorrow, as well as the Vikings. So make sure you do that today. What's going on? Gina Dallas Diva is the first one in the house. If you are a channel member, I just got back from talking to my friend Richard, helping him out. They're closing the pool and doing something I've never done before. So I was over there to help him get the cover and stuff situated and drilling some holes in there. Spar Nunn is in the house. And of course, let me get to Gina Dallas Diva. Wait a minute. You know, I've changed up so many different things here. I don't know where all my buttons are yet, and I'm working on pushing those. So as I get started here, and like I said, the link is in the description. Dave, Eagles Mania. I'm an Eagles fan, and I don't hate you. I just think your views are wrong about the Eagles. Well, you know, I said last year, going into the season, that I didn't think that the Eagles were going to repeat, and that the Eagles had flaws, and that they had problems with their coordinators that were coming in. It seems like I was pretty much spot on. I don't know how else to look at it. I said Jalen Hurts was overrated, but that's cool, Dave. I appreciate that because, you know, it shouldn't be about you hating me or me hating you. We should be able to have a conversation about your team, my team, and everything else, and have fun with it. I tell you what was kind of cool. Last night, okay, I didn't have my live stream last night, so I apologize. Darlene Mosher, what's going on? Mozzie Smith is slowly getting better every game, every week, every practice. Well, I'm going to get to Mozzie as well, too, because, see, that, you know, if we have a pet player, Mozzie is definitely my pet player that I really and truly like. I have not had a chance to go ahead and talk about Mozzie the way I'd like to because I just have been busy. But yesterday... It was cool because I'll be honest with you, I was not a real popular, you know, guy in high school and stuff. And I was, believe it or not, I was very, very shy, extremely shy. And so I didn't have, per se, a lot of friends. I played football, I ran track, I was in Boy Scouts and things like that. But I wasn't that, that popular or that outgoing. And so I hadn't gone to any of my high school reunions until this one, until my friend Linda and her husband, who they were high school sweethearts, who's the head coach of my high school football team, which has gone 5-0, much like the JMU Dukes. I believe JMU won 60-7 against Ball State. Hey, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Rhonda, so lovely, Sparks. How are you doing? But it was cool last night because seeing some of my former high school football teammates and stuff, I'll be honest with you, when you haven't seen somebody in 40 years, you don't necessarily recognize them right off the bat. And when I first got there, oh my God, James said, Mark. And I was like, hey, how you doing? And I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. But it was crazy because it was James who was our left tackle. I was the right guard. I'm sorry, the left guard. We played side by side. And when we went to training camp in high school, we were roommates. And it was just like, oh my God. And it turns out he only lives about 45 minutes or so away from us. And he's going to end up probably coming over for a few games and things. And reminiscing with people and stuff. And it's funny because Mike, so lovely to, you are so lovely to appreciate that. It was funny because Mike, who's the head coach of my high school football team, he was like, it's your fault. I was like, okay, you're going to have to clarify that because I get blamed for so many things. What is my fault? He said, my season went down the toilet because of you. And he said, because when you tore your ACL, he said, it changed everything. He said, I was getting the 10, 12-yard runs and stuff before that. When you missed those 4 games, he was like, I got battered and bruised, and by the time you came back, my body was shot. And it's like, bro, okay, I came back as quick as I could. I literally tore my ACL on the last preseason game, okay? The last preseason game, tore my ACL, and I played week 6. I'm sorry, we played in 6 games. I only missed 4 with the tore ACL, which is crazy to even think about at this time. And I was sitting there going to them. They're like, yeah, I remember that thing. It's like, you heard that sucker snap. I was like, yeah, I remember that too. And I said, I still don't have one in this knee. And it's like, yeah. So what's going on? David, how are you doing today, man? Is your mic muted? Okay, so David left. So he's got technical difficulties. So anyway, as I've been running around like crazy today, listening to the talking heads, it's been kind of crazy because, I know that it's the Giants. I know it's the Giants, and people are going to say it's only the Giants. I'm trying to get, let's see, Ginger's iPad. That people are literally trashing the Cowboys and saying it was nothing. Dak didn't do enough. The running game wasn't good enough. It was only Daniel Jones, okay? They didn't score enough points. And I'm sitting here in my mind thinking that, wait a minute, this was a short week. You don't have time to heal. You're on the road. The Giants' defensive front got 8 sacks the week before and have some real players on there. And you found a way to get a win, and so that's not good enough. David, how are you doing? Is it working now? Can I hear you? David? You're not hearing me? Let's see. Let me double check. My speakers are working. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let me try that one more time. Hold on. Test speaker. Y'all hear that, right? Yes, I hear that. I hear that. And my microphone, I hear that. So, David, I'm not hearing you, buddy. And my microphone, I hear. Okay, so I'm ending my test. Okay. David, I'm not hearing you, bro. Ginger, your iPad is muted. You can't, David says he can't hear anything. Okay. I tell you what, hang on, people. Let me try and exit out and restart and make sure that I'm right. Okay, hold on. Leave meeting. Let me give David controls of that. Okay, let me try and go back in, David, and see what happens here. Hold up. This might be on my end. Okay, let me try it again. Join with that. Okay. Let's see. And I've lost David. Okay, David, try and come back again and see if that works. Okay, what's up, Mark? Saturday, this incoming stretch will tell us a lot about the Dallas Cowboys. Robert, this is really a tough stretch, to be honest with you. I was talking to my good friend Richard, who's a Steeler fan, who is definitely drinking the Kool-Aid with the Steelers. He thinks that it's going to be a great matchup. Let's see what happens this time with David. I heard that beep. Hang on 1 second here. Okay, David. Okay, you can hear me now. Unmute your mic, David.
I got you, buddy.
Okay, you couldn't hear me before?
Yeah, for some reason, it's like I could see you talking, but I couldn't hear
Okay,
anything.
all right. Well, we're here. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing good, after these last 4 games, seeing how I didn't get to see the game. I just saw the live show,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it was kind of an ugly game. We won the game. Defense didn't really look all that great. We had a couple of good plays from Dak Prescott, Rico Dowdle, and CeeDee Lamb, but of course, I would definitely say Brandon Aubrey is a blessing in disguise. I mean,
I don't know, man.
not
I'm mad
very
at
often.
Aubrey because, see, Aubrey, if he'd made that kick, my dad would have won his bet. There was a lot of money that was lost on that kick, and it makes you wonder, was Vegas involved in that one? That was kind of crazy there, David. And I'm gonna disagree with you on that. The Cowboys defense looked bad. I get it. It was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not a good quality quarterback. But I'm going to say I saw some things that made me feel better, because if you look at the Baltimore Ravens game and looking at Overshown seemed like he hesitated like crazy. That he was just like he was lost. This week it was like he was a heat-seeking missile and there was no hesitation. And I'm going to say Mozzie playing the way that he did, you finally said, okay, there's hope, because you looked at it the week before, they were living in the secondary with the, I mean, they were literally going past the secondary and stuff. So seeing the defensive line, you gave up 1.1 yards on the ground. And I'm also going to say that Diggs looked like he was back, because Neighbors only got 22 yards total, I think, in receptions against him. I think the QBR, or the rating going against Diggs with Neighbors was only 19%. Now, again, you have to grade that on a curve because it was Daniel Jones, but there were some positives to me, and I still say it's a short week that you can't really game plan for, too.
Right.
On the road.
And they didn't have a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, we got Jerome Bland coming back. Do we know if he's coming back for the Pittsburgh game or the game after that?
If he's, this would be, he can be activated this week, and it's good that we have a few extra days to kind of lick our wounds. That would be actually big. Now, for
a huge plus.
in talking to my friend Richard, and I'll share some. I've got that as a video, and there's no point to share it just yet because they still have to play the Colts tomorrow. But if you look at the Steelers, they haven't scored more than 20 points thus far this season.
Yeah.
They're 24th in scoring offense, 24th in yardage. Their defense, though, has been really good, but you have to wonder, they played Denver. They played, Denver. Who else did they play? The Chargers. And we know that Herbert's been injured. And I want to say Atlanta. Yeah. So, their statistics look good so far through those games. Question is, were they really challenged in those games and things?
Right.
So,
I think a big challenge for the Cowboys offensive line, especially going against Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt, because those two cats, they can bring pressure, and that's definitely going to be a big test.
Yeah, they can. This is no lie. Now, I'm going to say, to counter this, the penalties got the Cowboys offensive line out of rhythm. Cooper Beebe, another one of my pet players, gave up 0 pressures, and he wasn't exactly going against a bum in the middle, and he's had 2 games so far that he's done that. Tyler Guyton did give up a sack, but think about this, though. As much as we kill him, the Giants defense got 8 sacks a week before. We only gave up 1, and the penalties killed us more than anything else. But I'm the guy who's the glass half full here.
Yeah, I mean, and from what we've seen and what the talking heads keep saying and everything like that, what I'm literally noticing is I'm looking at a team that, I mean, the big question mark that everyone's had lately is, how well is this defense going to play without D-Law and without Micah Parsons? I mean, granted, that's going to be a big question mark, But we got to give these backups a chance, see what they can do. I mean, Marshawn Nealon, we drafted the guy for something, right?
Yeah,
Got to give him a chance,
you
see
got
if he can
to.
do anything.
All right, I want to get to Ginger here, but this is funny to me because Dave Eagles Champs 34 said, "Can't talk about the Eagles when you beat tomato cans." You mean the tomato can that beat you last year to finish the season? When you needed the game for playoffs? Are we talking about that tomato can?
Right.
Oh, okay. I was checking. I'm just checking on that one. Okay. I get it. Granted, we haven't lost to the Giants with Dak Prescott since 2016. I get that.
Right.
Okay. So, here's what I'm going to say to my man, Dave Eagles.
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck-ups to shut.
There we go. Shut the F up there.
Good.
All right. So, Ginger, how are we doing today, Ginger? And what is the forecast for your Seattle Seahawks for tomorrow?
What's going on, Mark? We play Monday.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So we're going into Detroit
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna be on the road. So this is gonna be tough because both teams are coming into this game limping pretty much. We're missing 3 of our defensive linemen, and so are they. And so it's going to be. I was just kind of listening to some of the podcasts, and it should be like it feels like it's going to be an in the trenches type of game. But there's injuries on that, so I don't know. It might be a shootout between the two because. We gotta watch out for their run game because they have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and our run defense isn't the best, and it might be much harder since we're missing key players. So Gino's gonna have to try to get the ball into DK's hands because the secondary, DK might be able to. Our wide receivers might be able to handle the secondary, but because they got a rookie, but. That's just a guess, but they might pin their ears back and give us a run. So I might need some cannabis cookies or something from Leo.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be watching it.
Like anytime Brian says I'm gonna watch with one eye open because I'm just worried about Aiden Hutchins. I think he's gonna get a couple sacks or 2 because we're missing some O linemen as well. So. He's been looking really good. So, but the last time Mark McDonald's defense met Ben Johnson's offense on the Ravens, given it's different, they did beat them 28-6. But my guess is that Jared Goff had an off game, but they have our number because every time we've faced them, we've always beaten them, and they're tired of it. They're tired of it, so they're up for our blood. So they might edge out on this one, given it's a home game. So. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're nervous and sends you the weed cookies.
Yeah, I need some cannabis cookies for this one. So.
All right. I heard that. Derek J, what's going on, Derek? What idiots have you found out there besides 49er and Eagle fans? Unmute your mic. You got to unmute the mic, Derek. Derek, how long you been doing this, man?
I forgot. I had it unmuted, but then I went to eat a cookie while she was talking, so I muted it and I forgot.
She was like, "Oh man, she said a cannabis cookie. Let me go get one." Okay.
But the video I put out yesterday, I think it was last night on Derek J Reacts, the lady actually inside the police station in front of 2 male police officers, squatted and peed on the floor.
All righty then.
So yeah, wow. That's the craziness I watch on a daily basis.
All righty then, moving right along here. It's like the fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Right on.
I mean, did she say, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom," and they said, "No, you're gonna have to wait," or anything like that? Or she just said, "You know what? Screw y'all. I'm pissed off."
And they were literally reading her the stuff that as soon as they finished, they would have took her to the bathroom to do the P test for the DUI. Literally 3 minutes, she would have been in the bathroom in the toilet. But
Okay. Well,
He
maybe she
decided-
definitely
Yeah,
had too much
well,
to drink there. Okay.
One thing I'm wondering though, Mark, is
What's that, David?
the running back situation that we have right now. I mean, we got Zeke and Rico and Deuce Vaughn, but has there been any talk about the possibility of them getting Dalvin Cook off the practice squad?
I'm trying to understand what that whole deal is because you can't tell me that Dalvin Cook, even washed, is going to be worse than Deuce right now. And I get it.
Right.
Deuce is, kind of like family and stuff, and so you want to give him every opportunity and things. But, when I'm seeing people getting plugged and played from 1 week to the next, you're telling me 4 weeks in that you're telling me that he's not good enough to be one of our better ones in here. What I
Right.
will say is it seemed like we actually had some pretty good runs this week, but they kept getting called back because of holding. Now, were they good runs because they were holding or penalties in there? Maybe that was the case, but I'm beginning to think that we still need to give the team time to really get together. I saw some things that at least made me feel better, and so far, and hopefully that we're going to continue to get better each week. Seeing CeeDee Lamb, although I don't want to see CeeDee Lamb in the backfield.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's a wideout. He's not a running back. Sorry.
If you're going to do that, go ahead and activate Trey Lance and say, put Trey Lance back there. But I'm afraid that they're going to ask too much of CeeDee Lamb. And if we end up getting to be completely one-dimensional, that it's going to be CeeDee and Dak show only, that eventually that's not, people are going to eventually be able to counteract that. We've got to get somebody else to be able to step up into that and do well. There is Big Guy 75, Bry Guy. Guess what? I got in the mail yesterday. I got something from you, man. So, Chris May, how are you doing, bro?
I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm living the dream here, man. Still alive, fortunately. Found out a lot of my classmates actually aren't. So I feel good that I'm still here. Looks like you're in space there, buddy.
Yeah, in space with the Cowboys and Eagles playing behind me. I did pretty good with my surgery. They pulled my teeth out. I had a thing going on, but I'm up and at 'em. Hey, I'm still going too.
Well, that's good news to hear. So with this stretch that we have, the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road, the Detroit Lions at home, and please, Ginger, by all means, soften up the Detroit Lions some more for us. Then the Atlanta Falcons, the 49ers, and then the Eagles. Are we going to be buried, or are we going to come through and say, not a bad team?
I don't know at this point.
I don't
With the
know.
penalties, with us being so undisciplined, I mean, dude, we're playing the Giants. Right? We had what a record for the most penalties for something.
Well,
I
maybe we're
think
getting
both
it out of
teams
the way early here.
Oh yeah.
Can-
Well, hopefully,
can we-
let's hope that. But losing Parsons and
I like the Braga. I like the towel.
nice.
Okay. I love the towel, but I'm looking at this and saying, I see a football
Ooh, nice. You losing
and I see
Lawrence is big,
extension
too,
cord.
though. So,
So what do we got here? Oh wow! It's a ceramic football, and it's a cutout in there, so it's a layup. Okay, go on while I plug this in. If we can come through, I mean, this is how crazy this is. Okay, now we're talking about Ginger. Ginger's talking about how beat up the Lions are right now, and we're looking across the board where it seems like we're losing more star players than anything else right now. You see Devontae Adams, he's out now for the next 4 weeks. Of course, us losing Micah and D-Law. You think about all the players that the 49ers have lost and the Eagles have lost. This year, more than ever, it seems like there are more injuries going on that are knocking people the F out. If the Cowboys can find a way to get a win against either the Lions, the 49ers, and things, that goes a hell of a long ways here.
Yeah. If I had
Shout
to
out to
pick,
Bry Guy.
if I had to
Dang
pick,
it. Look at that.
oh, awesome.
Boom.
Cool.
Ceramic football lights up. I'm going to figure out the perfect home for that. I appreciate that, man.
If somebody told me we can only win 2 games out of the next 5, those are the 2 games I would want to win.
Well, those are. I mean, that's almost like doubling up because you think about playoff seeding and things. With the 49ers, they're 1-2, so they're not in much better shape than we are. They play New England, so that's almost like a bye week for them.
Oh, New England has been tough this year, right?
Well, they're 1-2, same. Believe it or not, same record. As
they lost their last 2 games.
Yeah. So right now in the NFL, there's no such thing as a given. So the question we have to ask is Minnesota really for real? At 3-0?
I don't know. Was Carolina for real when they were what?
15-1
until they faced us.
Yeah, that was because Carolina. Sam Darnold played for Carolina. They started out 3-0
that same year. Yeah,
that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah,
they started out 3-0, and I think we played them when they were 3-0 that year.
Game Time Brian says a win is a win. You're right about that.
It is a win, but it's still scary, man, with all the losses we have right now.
Yeah,
it really is.
It really is a week-to-week league. From one week to the next, you just don't know what you're going to get from a team. For us to at least stop the run, I know it's the Giants. I get it, everybody. I know it was the Giants, but listen, it was a short week. A very short week after a very physical running. They literally ran down our throats. To have at least stopped them the way we did, 1.1 yards, to see Mozzie in the backfield actually making a tackle for a loss, that gives you hope. And if we are going to have any hope without Micah and D-Law, we're going to have to see others step up. Now, if Mozzie can help step up and play like he did in the middle, and if you can get Overshown being definitely more sure about what his assignments and coming before us, that's going to help some to lessen the blow. I look at the Steelers. The Steelers ain't great offensively. It's really going to be more, can our offense deal with their defense more than anything else?
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's comparing Justin Fields' coaches now to when he was with the Bears.
Yeah. Well, here's what Justin Fields. I mean, we're not acting like he's getting 10 TDs and 1 interception. He's got 2 TD passes in 3 games and 1 interception. He's not asked to do as much as he did with the Bears, and they have a great defense that is getting the ball and giving them extra opportunities. And he does definitely have a better coaching staff. But I'm not ready to say after 3 games that he is the be-all, end-all. That he's a great quarterback. I mean, they're not putting up extreme offensive numbers, but then again, I could just be a hater. Alicia D in the house, what's going on? Is that Kolek? Am I pronouncing that right? One of the lovely ladies in the house? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I guess she can't hear me yet. She's just came in. Do the Cowboys sign anybody as far as edge rushers go?
I don't know. I heard a report of something about Randy Gregory, and I'm like, oh, hell no. But I don't know.
Did Tampa Bay relinquish his rights?
I don't know. I was reading something about free agents that we could get at defensive end, and they were bringing up Randy Gregory, and I'm like, no. That's what I've heard on that front. I just wish we could get like another playmaker on our offense, another receiver, something. And Dalvin Cook would help. I mean, you can go on a two-back set with him and Zeke. At least it's some kind of focus off of something, I mean, CD can't do it all by himself. Team game. Would be nice to have another big dog out there.
I'm trying to see if I can figure out on that. Okay, he was released. Okay, so they did. So he is actually a free agent. So technically, now they're trying to sue him for his $3 million contract for the money that he ended up getting on the signing bonus and stuff on it. But I don't know that you really want to revisit that one. Randy.
They did. What did he say about the Cowboys when he went out, when he signed with Denver? Didn't he say something?
Well, Jerry said El Paso. Thank God we didn't sign him to a big fat contract.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys Wire does have him as one of the potential 10 replacements. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cowboys getting a little bit bolder and saying, you know, let's talk to the Jets about Hassan Reddick. I know that's more of a dream, but that's one of those ones that, you know, he's kind of hinted, hey, I wouldn't mind going back to Philly. I think right now he'd go anywhere other than the Jets. But if you ended up getting him, then that definitely takes somebody else off the list that the Eagles can get, making them better, because they've got a need at edge rusher too. But we're talking about the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, of course, they're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Because why is he's holding out?
Yeah, he has not reported. He has not set foot into the Jets facilities at all, and he's being, you know, losing game checks each week on it. He wants to be traded.
But he signed in the offseason as a
No,
free
he's
agent?
still. Well, no, they traded him, so his rights and everything went to the Jets. So he's still on the contract that he had with the Eagles, but he hasn't shown up for OTAs, for training camp, or any of the games. So he's losing out. And the reality is, here's the bad part about it is, they don't have to do anything. He won't get paid if he sits out the whole year, and they still have the rights. He loses this whole year, and it's still in the same position. So for him, he just wants to get the hell out of there.
He was better off coming in faking an injury.
Yeah.
To do this.
Dalvin Cook is no longer a big dog. Well, right now, we got a bunch of puppies, okay?
We need something out there.
You know, I'm not saying at this point, we're not. I would love to have a big dog, but I don't think we have any big dogs right now. We're hurting with Lawrence and Parsons out. This is true, Randy. I can't lie to you on that one. But at least the Pittsburgh Steelers are not a great, you know, offensive team. So maybe some of that's negated, and maybe with us, maybe Parsons only misses one game. That's the hope.
Yeah. Once I saw, because you seen Parsons get a little nicked up, but he's never seemed like that. So once I knew he was sitting down there for a while, I was like, yeah, this is serious.
Yeah. But the other good thing, here's at least the two things that are at least going for us is we got the Steelers, of course, in 8 days. Then we have the Lions, and then we have the bye week before we play the 49ers, which also help them as well. Maybe they gets back some of their players. Who knows the deal with Christian McCaffrey if he's going to play it all this year. But worst case, you look at him missing, hopefully, just the Steelers and the Lions, and then being back for San Francisco. And that should be the case for both of them. And Bland will definitely be back for that one too. So maybe if you can win the Steelers and maybe lose to the Lions, maybe you got a chance against the 49ers. And that wouldn't be a bad scenario. And then you got the Falcons, and I'm not sold on the Falcons. And it's the Eagles. We always split with the Eagles. So maybe this stretch doesn't end up being as bad as we think, or maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah, I think 3-2 would be
3-2 would be freaking insane. If we could do 3-2, we're golden. I just hope it's not like 1-4.
Yeah, I think we could win 3 out of the 2 games. I mean, 3. I think we could win 2 out of the 3 games.
Sure, Daddy says, yeah, we've been hearing about the Lions for years, and then there's Kirk Cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are the Lions for real or not? Or was last year their one-hit wonder? All right. Any other thoughts on firing Jerry Jones?
No comment.
The only person that's gonna fire Jerry Jones is God whenever he calls him home.
Yep.
That's it.
Said a mouthful there.
I'd be to laugh about that, but
Well, you may be right on that one. so far the Lions beat the Rams 26-20. They lost to Tampa Bay 2016. And they beat the Cardinals 2013. So the Lions have not done like major things. Like right now, they're only averaging about 20 points a game. So are the Lions a juggernaut to worry about? Ginger says, I hope not. Ginger?
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I hope. But yeah,
You sound nervous, Ginger. She's
it's
like,
weird. Well, it's hard because it's like, it's all about the trenches. It's about the lines, and if the lines aren't strong,
mm-hmm.
And Jared Goff can go off. He can. But I noticed in the third quarters they have a hard time scoring. As of late, they can shore it up, but and then coaching and time management is going to play a role in. I trust Mike McDonald because he's pretty locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dan Campbell, he's great, but I know sometimes the management can be a little iffy. But I don't know. I don't think it matters on their part. I still think they're a juggernaut, So, yeah, I don't know. We'll try to soften them up for you, but I'm not sure how much we can do for you there. Although we do have our running back. So Kenneth Walker III will be returning.
Mm-hmm.
So we might get a little bit of relief with that. But I still think they're juggernauts. But
Game Time Brian says Khalil Mack rumor has surfaced for a trade. I hadn't heard that one, but Khalil Mack signed a 1-year, $19 million contract with the Chargers. Now, with 19 of it being guaranteed, they've got a $25 million cap hit with him this year. I don't know that they would necessarily part with that one, but then again, they might look at that and say, you only have him for 1 year. Let's get something for him, and this year is going to be a wash, even though they are 2-1. Hadn't heard that one. Game Time. Game Time. Where are you at, man? Regardless of the injuries to Parsons and D-Law, we should have brought in another edge rusher. Let's see how it plays out going forward. That's Marcus. I have to agree with you that's one of the biggest problems with the Cowboys is, generally speaking, we're so top heavy with all of our talent that once you get through that first layer, we don't have a lot of great backups. But we're going to have to see if some of our young guys end up stepping up. Marshawn Nealon, Goldston are going to have opportunities to do some things. So hopefully we'll see something. Hopefully. It's funny. You know what's funny is I'm not seeing all the usual Eagles trolls in here right now. And Leo's not showing up again. Randy Sykes, trade deadline's November 15th. Jerry, swallow pride and go get help. I'm with you on that, Randy. I don't think he'll do that. We were missing Parsons even before he was healthy. No way that the New York game, snooze fest, do y'all think you're going to beat the Steelers? YouTube Jay, it's football, bro. Anything can happen. We've got a few more days worth of rest going in here, and you never know. As Bry Guy says, anytime you think a team is good, they lose. Ain't no lying on that one.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be an easier day for me tomorrow because I won't have to drink much, and I won't need my squeeze stars quite as much tomorrow because we can be like, how you doing, Regina Green? All right, so Ginger, what you got coming up, girl?
As far as
your channel.
Oh, I'm making a video tonight. I got some more like backdrops and stuff like that. My mom was like, we need to give you a better background. And I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to that, but she's an art person. So she's trying to do more. I got more equipment, but I will be making a video tonight for all my fantasy stuff and Monday's game. So that's going to come later, not too late, but kind of more in the evening. So.
Well, that's nice. That sounds good. And Derek J., what crazy person have you found? You're muted again, bro.
See, I was eating again. I forgot. I don't even know. I set up my videos so far in advance. I don't even know what's coming up. But I got a live stream tonight and tomorrow. A lady grabs a cop's private parts during her arrest. So, yeah, crazy stuff. As always, I try to find the most crazy thing I can find and do videos on it. So it's been working. So keep going.
Okay, so this just came across. The NFL has fined CeeDee Lamb $22,511 for unnecessary roughness and use of helmet on a play that no flag was thrown. Are you serious? You know, the officiating. Let me see if I can show you guys. This is crazy. Hold up. Let's see. This is getting the official in that game. It got to be ridiculous as many times as there were offsetting penalties and things. It was just like there was no flow to the game whatsoever. So this play, CeeDee Lamb
behind Lamb,
crossing.
His first catch, Justin makes it beautifully, and he's inside the 10, and it's for offense.
For lowering his helmet
Quick throw this
on a tackle.
Lamb, his first catch,
He's getting tackled by two guys. They fined him
and it's for offense.
use of helmet.
Quick throw this.
You guys see that?
Lamb, his first catch, Justin makes it beautifully, and he's
Okay, you guys didn't see it, but in the chat, but it was literally he's being tackled. This is just short of the goal line, and he's dropped his head, covering up because he's got a guy pulling him from behind, and he's getting tackled from the front, and so they fined him $22,000 for that. Unbelievable. There's also trade rumors, of course, Amari Cooper, that the Cowboys might be interested in trading for him, and of course the Browns, looking at the season, having lost to the Cowboys and the Giants, are saying we suck and might be doing wholesale changes. Thoughts of bringing back Amari Cooper? I wouldn't mind having another target.
I'm for that. Yeah, I'm for that.
Lord knows they do bring players back. We brought back Zeke. I think without a doubt that, you know, as good as CeeDee Lamb is and Dak Prescott when they're clicking, I think you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You need to have somebody else. Now the question would be is what would it cost to bring in Amari Cooper? We gave him up for a 5. I can guarantee you we're not getting him back for a 5. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cowboys doing something major and using a second-round pick. Not necessarily on Amari Cooper, but the way we've had bad luck with our second-round picks, if you can get me a player that can help our team right now with a second-round pick, I'd say do it. Trying to see who is calling. Let's see. Okay. That's, of course, I think that's more of a want than anybody actually saying that the Cowboys are interested in it. Of course, we are always talked about as we're interested in everybody.
Yep. I don't even read those anymore.
A brother can dream, can he? Can I dream?
Yeah,
Isn't there hope?
So many. It's so many. It's everybody. As soon as somebody, this player is mad with their team, the Cowboys should trade for him. It's everybody. It's I get tired of reading it because I don't want to get too hyped up on it, and then it doesn't happen.
So. Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you all this: the Cowboys' biggest fatal flaw, besides Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, that may be the death of us for this season. What do you think? And what would be your solution on fixing it?
I still think it's lack of playmakers on offense. I think we need one more. A receiver. I think I said that like at the beginning of the year. if Jalen Tolbert has to step up, or we need to go get somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to get like in the playoffs, Green Bay, they were all over CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
And that stopped our whole offense. So even the Saints were doubling CeeDee Lamb. So if you do that, it slows down our offense a lot.
I can't disagree with that at all. I would like to see, but although I'm still optimistic that we still need more time for the team to get better. I've seen some good things with Tyler Guyton sometimes. I've seen some bad things. But you expect that with a young guy. Cooper Beebe, to me, is actually playing pretty good, and I know he'll get better. I still wonder with Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks left training camp a week early. When I was out there at training camp, he went back to Dallas a week before the rest of the team did. And they said, oh, this is something positive that he went back for. But I'm wondering, was there some kind of injury or treatment or things like that that have starting off kind of slow? Because he did miss a bunch of time in training camp and practices. He sat out. And maybe he's healing from something that we don't know. And maybe he will get a little bit better like he did last year. Last year, he started off really kind of slow. If the offensive line can gel a little bit better, maybe the running game gets better. I think the Cowboys are doing themselves a disservice if they don't find out if they've got anything with Dalvin Cook or not. I don't understand the whole concept of why we're waiting. If he's not good, let's find out before the trade deadline and see if we do need to get somebody for a stretch run, or find out that maybe he is good enough and we don't need to. That's one of those big mysteries to me when you look at the running game and say, what are you doing?
I think the way they're thinking with Dalvin Cook is in case of injury to one of the other running backs.
Yeah, but at the moment, one of them getting injured, is it going to make that much of a difference? It's not like you're using Zeke. I'm literally looking at the few carries. I mean, Mike, and let's be real here, Mike McCarthy's offense he's probably enjoying this because he doesn't really like to run the ball much. Even when he won the Super Bowl, their biggest rusher had only 750 yards. So he would rather pass the football. But then I'm looking at the passing stuff. We're not using RPOs. We're very rarely moving the pocket. We're not using motion. We're not shifting. We are like in the bottom of the NFL in all of those categories. Bobby Beninsky, Eagles trade Huff and a 5th rounder to Jets for Reddick. They did? Did that just come through? Hold on. Bobby.
They did. The Jets then
then basically the Jets
the Jets then got over on them, didn't they?
No, yeah, but no.
If you trade the same player back to them?
Yeah, but they traded a 3rd, I thought.
Oh.
So, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me look on that one. I'm not seeing anything on that. There's Walker Wade. Some fireworks are going to be happening.
Yep. Boom, boom, here it comes.
Okay, so the only thing I'm seeing right now is Bryce Huff has deleted all of his Eagles-related content from Instagram. That was 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I see a whole lot of
Bryce Huff has deleted all his posts involving Eagles on his Instagram.
speculation.
This is funny. Bryce Huff and Hassan Reddick have the same stats through 3 games. But I'm wondering why, why would the Jets trade back for him? Because he's been awful so far. Okay. So if that came through, my man. If, I'm not seeing it yet, but maybe you got it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything just yet, but that's. I mean, he's still on the team, or at least he's been notified that we're working on trade, and he's like, "Screw y'all." So that would be interesting.
Yeah, I see a lot of people proposing that trade, that exact trade. So, but I don't see nothing about it happening.
Jets going further than the boys, and they have Rodgers. We'll see. Bro.
Mark, what up?
Walker Wade, we are in purgatory, as you say, buddy.
Yeah, we're in bad shape right now. I don't care what anyone says. We're in bad shape. It ain't looking good.
Well, maybe it is for this year, and maybe your whole idea.
That's why I'm not saying we should have got rid of Dak, but yeah, we should have blown this team up.
Dak is not the problem. I mean, I know people.
I'm not saying that's the problem.
Let's be clear here. Right now,
he's the least of my worries right now. There's way bigger issues than Dak.
We have turned this team completely 100% one-dimensional with one receiver. Okay? We have no threat of a running game and anything else, and still, he's got 6 TDs and 2 interceptions. That's 3-1. I'm sorry. He had 125 rating last week. Okay? That's the least thing I'm worried about. But I think our team is going to get better. I know, Walker, you're doom and gloom.
I don't want us to just be mediocre, like stay at 500 and then, it's the same thing over. If we're going to fail, I want this team to implode. That way, Jerry and Steven, they got no excuses. There's nothing they could say. They wouldn't be able to dress this up in any way or try to put any sort of good light on it, that they would be forced to maybe do something. And if we stay above water, they're not going to do shit. We're just going to keep staying in the same spot.
Yeah, because it'll be Stephen Jones. We're right there with Kansas City strong. As far as when
we barely missed the playoffs. We were still. They're going to come up with some bullshit. That's why I wanted us to implode.
Yeah, but in a way that this is where I was looking. It's like if we lost to the Giants, that might have been rock bottom enough for them to actually make a drastic move to say we need to get another weapon. Or
we got a lot
something.
of cap room next year. That's all I'm saying. I wanted us to implode. That way they could look at themselves and say, okay, we didn't do enough. We got to spend some money this next offseason. We got to do something.
Well, here's what's
if we're going to stay above water, that just gives them a reason to not do that.
Well, I don't know, Walker. If you're saying we don't make the playoffs and we don't think that they're going to make a major move, they're going to roll over that $26 million with the other 26 that they have. So that's $52 million. You've got triggers with CD and Dak, but we know that they don't actually use those things because they don't believe in trying to get anybody. They have the means if they want to do something, but I don't know what's going to make them want to do anything. That's the thing that's maddening. You should look at this and say, we have been a 12-win team. Let's go be a Super Bowl team, and let's go ahead and spend a little bit of money right now and grab that mother humper.
That's we gotta. That's the thing. Even though the trade deadline, Mark, we got to pick up a lot at the trade deadline, not just a player or two. We got to pick up a lot of players.
If we got a playmaking wide receiver to help complement CeeDee Lamb, I still would like to find out what the deal is with Dalvin Cook. If you don't think, if at this point, if they don't think Dalvin Cook is good enough to be starting on here, then why are we holding a roster spot for him? And you need to find out, is he going to be a viable option, or do I need to go out and get somebody else between now and May 15th? I'm sorry, November 15th.
And I mean, we got no D line either. I mean, damn, Micah Parsons and Lawrence are gone. Like we're in pretty rough shape on the defense,
Well, on that, here's at least the one thing that goes well for our schedule is we've got, the mini bye week now. We end up playing the Steelers, and we play the Lions, and we've got our bye week. So you're looking at possibly getting D-Law back and Micah back before the 49ers game.
Yeah, but that's a long shot right now.
That's 3 weeks.
Yeah, but these next 3 teams aren't the New York Giants. That's the thing. These aren't the New York Giants we're going up against. We're going to Pittsburgh, and we're playing against T.J. Watt and that defense.
Yeah, they have a good defense, but their offense
that's what
is.
I'm worried about.
I hear you, but look at some of the guys we've already been playing against on the defense
Yeah,
here.
but
Miles
they haven't
Garrett
held their own though. That's the thing.
Okay,
but they've been walking past Terrence Steele though, and now we got.
Exactly.
Like they held their own
TJ
against
Watt
the
over there.
Giants. They won.
they held it against the Cleveland Browns defense too.
I'll give them a small clap for beating the Giants.
Okay,
they
but
got steamrolled by the Ravens.
We're talking about hold it. Wait, back up for a second here. If we're talking about the offenses rolling over people, I agree with you that, Lamar Jackson, who is somebody we don't ever play against, okay? Lamar Jackson has steamrolled over everybody in the NFC. But we're not looking at Justin Fields being Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. Their offense right now has not put up more than 20 points in a game. And we're talking about them going against Atlanta, the Chargers, and who else did they play? Denver. Denver. That's the teams that they played. Their numbers they're 24th. I'm not saying that we're great on defense, and not having Micah Parsons and all that is very helpful, but we're not talking about them being a juggernaut on offense. Yes, their defense has been number one in scoring defense and in yardage. They're good, but at least our strength is going against their strength. And I can look and say our defense and their offense are about the same. Both of them suck.
I'm thinking seriously of starting Spears, Ty.G. Spears on my fantasy league this week because we cannot stop that damn run.
Yeah, we did this week. Yeah, okay, I know it was just the Giants.
Yeah, but look what the Giants were doing. Middle.
Yeah, but I am going to go on the record and say that I saw a nose tackle that was taking on double teams and splitting double teams and getting upfield for once. That gave me hope.
True.
That gave me hope.
It doesn't give me hope against the Giants. One of the most ugliest games I watched Thursday night against. It's too bad.
On a short week, Wade. Short week.
The Giants had a short week too.
They were at home. They had an extra day to go ahead and get ready for this thing. We were traveling on Wednesday. And it's a division game.
And we had to travel back home.
Okay.
And now we got to travel to Pittsburgh.
Come on, listen. Let me feel good for a week at least, Wade. Come on. I mean, damn, bro.
I can't let you pull a Jerry Jones.
No,
Mark. That's all he does here in Dallas. All he does is pour cream on everything. Oh, we'll be all right. That dude, come on now. I hear it every week with Jerry Jones here in Dallas.
Okay. How about this?
He literally tried to make this team sound better than it was.
What if, though? Just hear me out for a second, Walker Wade. What if Tyler Guyton doesn't start giving up all those penalties and he starts getting a little bit better as the season goes on? Right? What if?
We need him. We would have needed him to do that now.
I'm just saying, as the season goes on, what if he starts playing better and he's peaking towards the end of the year? We've already seen some good things from Cooper Beebe, who ended up not giving up a single pressure, right? What if the Cowboys offense, like last year, after the bye week, starts playing really good and we get CeeDee Lamb really on track? We saw him have a good game this week when literally, I know it was the Giants. Hey, it was the Giants, but the Giants was a team that's got 8 sacks the week before. We only gave up 1. Can't I have that as a positive?
Yeah, but still,
I will give.
On the other
I
side,
will give
it's horrible.
I will give this to Dallas though. They did stop Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right.
I mean, he could not get into the backfield.
And that was Cooper Beebe.
And that was all Cooper. Good for Cooper. Now, if he could just do that against TJ Watt, I think there could be some. I mean, this could be a game.
Okay. And then you're okay. And I'm going to say that Diggs seemed like, he actually had a decent game there. He's looking like he's getting back on track. You will get Deron Bland back.
Is he coming back before the bye
Well, he's
week,
eligible to be coming off this week off of IR. I don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, or whatever on there. But he is
just keep him on IR and see if they can't go after, trade for a player. That'd be their best option.
I know, Walker, you say we're mediocre, but I don't see a juggernaut out here right now in the NFL. I don't see a team that you look at and
Kansas
say,
City's
Well,
not as
the
dominant.
juggernaut's not in our conference. The Kansas City Chiefs are the juggernaut right now.
but
Well,
Kansas
they
City.
didn't act like it was, last week against Atlanta.
Yeah, but they're undefeated and they've won back-to-back Super Bowls. I cannot.
They beat Baltimore by a toe.
Not a juggernaut.
They
Yeah,
All
they
right,
beat
okay.
Baltimore by a toe. Yeah,
But in our conference, which is who we have to go through to try and get to the promised land, I don't see anybody right now that you say we're so far behind them that we got no chance.
right now,
If you find a way to
like
beat the
Minnesota
Lions and the
Green Bay.
49ers at this point, you look a hell of a lot different.
Lions aren't even looking like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
They aren't even looking like the team they were last year.
And I don't know that Minnesota with Sam Darnold is really a great team. I still can't believe that
I
one.
don't know. Darnold's been really lighting it up in fantasy this year. No doubt. I mean, that guy can throw. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got,
If I'm not
Addison.
mistaken, Ginger's Seattle Seahawks are undefeated.
they are too. So, yeah, the Niners aren't looking like a juggernaut. They're 1-2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Philadelphia's not looking like
Oh,
They're
Philadelphia's
gonna run
defense
away.
is just as bad as ours. They need edge rushers as bad as we do, which is why they're trying to get Hassan.
Do you think they could get him back?
I'm sure they can.
What I'm mad about is this team, franchise overall shouldn't be in this position right now if Jerry and the front office didn't have their heads up their asses and dragged ass on everything, and their team building's terrible. I mean, we wouldn't be in this position if they were better at team building.
Yeah,
So does
I'd agree
everybody
with that.
understand that we
The mailman, he must have just gotten out from work. He still got his mail shirt on.
does
Deliver
everybody
that shit.
understand that we are playing the most rookies and second-year players, basically rookies, when it comes to overshown as being a big part of the team. We're giving more snaps to young guys
Than
than
anybody else.
any other team. So, I mean, by
Bam!
a large margin. So, is there anybody that maybe feels by the end of the year, all this playing time is going to pay some dividends?
I think it will, but it's not showing anything right now. I guess
Well,
we just
I
have
beg
to
to
be.
differ.
I don't know how it pays dividends in the running back room.
Yeah, we
Again,
need a running back.
Well, I thought we ran the ball decent. I think the problem, like right now, is our head coach and his play calling. I think his play calling is horrendous.
It's very
You know
vanilla
what we
right now.
lie, Mark? Well, I think Mark knows.
It's very, very vanilla. He's not.
It's like it was the beginning of last year. There's no motion in the offense, people. That's not good for Dallas Cowboys. We're, I think, at the bottom third in motion. We're like almost near the bottom in running motion. You got to have motion to your offense, right? Am I wrong?
I agree.
I mean, and I thought I think we're running the ball better.
I thought penalties killed us last week on that.
It's hard to run the ball when you're down, 3 scores.
Well, those other games, no, but this past game against the Giants, I thought we actually were making some good moves. Every time we'd have a good run, Zeke had 2 runs of like 8 yards that were called back.
Are you getting a lot of blowback or not blowback, revisionist history with mainly Eagle fans saying Giants this, Giants suck that?
Oh, I've been saying that. You mean
into the
that team
game,
that
what did
beat
we
you
hear?
guys last year?
What do we hear leading into the game, Mark? How good that the Giants
were.
defense is playing, right?
Mm-hmm. They got 8 sacks last week.
Yes, exactly. So, again, you need to show Dallas a little bit of respect. You need to show Mozzie Smith a little bit of respect. I'm the first one to crap on Mozzie. I've done it. I'm going to
That's
call
my
it out
boy,
how I see
man.
it.
Leave my son alone.
But, but I also praised him after that game. He was a dominant force, against the Giants. Now, do I think it had a lot to do with John Michael Schmitz? Of course I do. I think, but the good thing is there's not a lot of dominant centers out there anymore. We faced one with the New Orleans Saints. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to be okay. again, if we can find a way to split, I want everybody to understand and just relax. It sucks that we lost our 2 defensive guys, but we are right where I predicted them to be. So
3
if we
and
can
3
find,
by the bye. Yeah.
if we could split, the next 2 games, we are fine. And then I had us losing to San Fran, who is not a juggernaut. So
And
we just
beat
need
up.
to find a way to get a win over the next 2 games, get to the bye week at 3 and 3, we'll be fine.
I
If we
think we
suffer
could go
more
4
injuries,
and 2, to be honest.
nothing you can
with
do about it. I just think everybody needs to take a break. I understand what Wade's saying. Don't get me wrong. I agree. It's not looking good. But what do you want to do? Sledhead. There is no good NFC teams this year. I'm sorry. Everybody wants.
That's what I'm saying. That mediocre might be in the Super Bowl.
It's not about necessarily winning the division. It's about getting into the playoffs. And maybe these dividends that we're playing, all the young guys that we're playing now, okay, it obviously is a scheme thing with these guys. It's not a matter of talent. We heard about the Giants running game and how their offensive line is doing well. And what do? We shut their asses down. We made them throw the ball 40 times. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to give Dallas a little bit of credit. I mean, this is the same Giants team that beat the Eagles when it was a playoff game was on the line.
And almost beat them a second time when it was a playoff game, too.
And we'll be like, can't go back to last year. Sure you can. They had Saquon. And he didn't do nothing in that game. And yet you still lost to him. So, again, it's a long season, everybody.
Oh, you can go back. They still talking about Packers loss. So, yeah, we can go back, too.
I mean, I'm looking for signature wins. So if we can go into Pittsburgh and somehow win, then, we got to put up 38 points in that game. That's what you got to do. You got to go on the road and have a dynamic game, Dak. But I like that trade idea, Mark, with Amari Cooper. I like that.
What was it?
Well, they didn't say what. Bring back Amari Cooper.
Give him a 5.
Give him a 5 for Amari.
Well,
they can get more than a 5 for him.
5.
Yeah, this isn't a refund, okay? They're not.
I'm just saying we have 4 or 5 this year.
Yeah,
we have our 5 and
3 others. You got 2 compensatories.
Maybe 2 and a 4th. I don't know, but we have multiple 5s. Now he's worth a 5. When we traded him 2 years ago, we probably should have got a 3rd, maybe a 2nd, but whatever.
I bet you they want at least a 3rd.
Give up a 5 and give up a 5 and give up one of the receivers we got.
No,
I'm betting they want a 3rd for him, bro.
Give him Tolbert.
Bring him back.
Yeah, that's who they're gonna want.
You can have Tolbert.
Yeah,
I like Tolbert, but I don't love Tolbert.
Or do you give him a 5 next year and the year after that?
It doesn't matter. The bottom line is, go and make a move. I agree with Mark, but I think the problem is with the running back situation.
Some of it's the offensive line still.
I think that they don't want to do anything bad with Zeke. Zeke's body language after the game was not good. He normally likes to talk. He sits at his locker, whether he has a good game or bad game. This week he put his earbud in and walked right by everybody and left the building. He's not happy, Zeke, because he knows that Rico Dowdle, who I am not a fan of, everybody. I know Rico. Everybody keeps saying that he has the most juice in the room. I'm just not a fan of Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, when Stephen Jones, we did good thing. Rico's getting 4 yards. 4 yards and shit. I'm sorry.
Like I was telling Brian, it should be Zeke and Cook out there.
Yes, I would agree with that.
There you go.
And Lepke, and I don't mind Deuce Vaughn. That's fine. Did anybody happen to notice the blitz pickup that Deuce Vaughn had?
Yeah.
I mean, he saved Dax Bacon for a little man. So again, I'm just not a big. I just don't like this coaching staff and how they're running this offense and what they're doing. It's dumbfounding that we're back in, at square one. Didn't we have to go into the bye week and they had to go into a hotel room, Mark, and figure out the offense? And yet we start out this year leaving CD way out on the boundary with no motion. Yeah. I don't understand that. Well, I don't understand what you're doing. What are you doing?
Here's what you got right now.
Way too many plays
with running
in the
football. You got Zeke with 24 carries for 81 yards, 3.4 yard average. Rico has got 34 carries for 134 yards at 3.9. Deuce Vaughn is 2.9 yards a carry on 7 carries.
But he has
yards.
7 carries. You know,
okay.
When he's in the game, they give him the ball, so the defense keys on that. You need to give him out there, Mark, at like series at a time. So when he's in there, maybe he don't get the ball, and that you know what I'm saying. Like if you're in there, and every time you're in there, you get the ball. What do you think the defense is going to do? They're going to key that you're going to be getting the ball.
I'm not a fan of putting CD in the backfield. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He's got 6 carries for 33 yards. Okay. Granted, that's great. But see, you're paying him buku money to be a wide receiver. I don't want you to Deebo Samuel.
I agree.
You know?
Every once in a while, fine. But, I thought that's why we had Kevontae Turpin on the team, Mark. I thought that's why he was on the team. Why are we using him?
Well, he's had 2 attempts for 3 yards.
Okay, but I'm talking about in the offense as a receiver. I mean, like, what are we doing? And then we see Wanye Thomas returning kicks. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's not right.
I don't understand what this coaching staff is doing. It's dumbfounding.
It's
but
like they increase Turpin's the amount he plays on in wide receiver. So
but he hasn't gotten the ball though. So.
Well, he did against what is it? He caught a touchdown against Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
did.
I
mean, he's a guy you want the ball in his hands. It's like I don't know. It's just kind of.
Heck, use him as a running back.
I just don't like what McCarthy's doing. McCarthy. I don't mind McCarthy as a head coach, but as a play caller, he's got to get his head out of his ass because he's putting Dak in a tough spot. Did anybody notice? And I don't want to take up your show, but I know Mark's going to go soon. Did anybody notice? They didn't. I mean, they helped Cooper Beebe a lot, and they helped him. I think 80% of the time they helped him with Dexter Lawrence, and I'm not saying that's a bad move, but they left Tyler Guyton out there to just all by his lonesome, right? So we get to a 3rd and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of helping on Guyton, they drop back and throw the ball. And what do you think happens? Guyton, gets a holding call.
Yeah, because they crash you on the inside. That's his boogaboo. They crash hard on the inside. He's giving it up.
The ball on 3rd and 1. Why are we passing the ball on 3rd and 1 and we get a holding call? Now it's 3rd and 11. Just run the friggin' ball. If we can't get a yard, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, he's not helping out as quarterback is what I'm trying to say. McCarthy, 3rd and 1. Instead of trying to throw the ball, you get a holding penalty. Now it's 3rd and 11. Now you're effed. Just hand the ball off. He's overthinking it. He needs to cut that playbook in by a third. I mean, it looks like he's got the what did you say, Mark? The Cheesecake Factory menu in his hand.
Cheesecake.
Is that what you said?
No, I didn't get that one.
Yeah, it looks like that McCarthy has the Cheesecake Factory menu. They have like 1,000 items.
Oh
on that
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said it. I don't know who said it, but yeah, he's got way too many plays in there. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, my reference is when you see a restaurant that says that they've got gyros, pizza, Chinese food, and all that. It's like you're not getting fresh food.
Chinese?
Man.
We give you Chinese. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take an egg roll, but I doubt it's good from a pizza place.
Exactly.
But,
so I don't know. So let me be clear. So Walker Wade is it's over, man. It's over.
I agree, but it is what it is.
Okay, so game time. You've got no hope.
No, I got hope. What are you talking about?
I'm asking. I'm trying to clarify this because I look at it. You actually made me feel better when you came in with your numbers of we're starting more first and second year players than anybody else.
That's the idea. Everybody's got to relax. Now, again, I don't know. Right now, the schedule looks daunting. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I agree with what you said, Mark.
But you know what?
Something has changed.
Throw what the schedule looks like out the window because the Eagles, they said the Eagles' tough part of their schedule was the first half of the game. They said that the last 6 games of the season was a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And the cakewalk ended up being what killed them. Mm-hmm. So you just don't know. for all we know, San Francisco, that is 1-2, might just not be a good team this year. For all we know, the Detroit Lions, who seem to be kind of not quite the same and are battered and bruised,
I'm not giving up.
Might not be the good team.
No.
And maybe Minnesota is. We just don't know. It's still too early.
You saw the night and day difference.
A lot of injuries right now.
Did everybody see the night and day difference? Now, you can say Giants all you want, but before the game, the pundits were saying that we were going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
And the Giants were going to run. And the Giants, listen. And then you know what happened? We stopped, the run in the first half, and we got hurt. And listen, you can't blame a team from looking at us right now and saying, well, geez, they don't have Carson. They have Diggs. You can't cover everybody. You really are weakness right now. But I thought we did a great job from the New Orleans-Baltimore fiasco going up against the Giants, who had been running the ball good. The Giants had been running the ball good. So why all of a sudden we beat them? It was like, well, it's only the Giants. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. We did a good job. Did you see the run fits, everybody? It wasn't about having an unbelievable D tackles. The linebackers were supposed to run fit, meaning hit the gap. And what did they do this game? You saw Leopold.
They hit the gap.
You saw Overshone. You saw, for the most part, they were doing their job.
And you actually had Mozzie taking on the double teams and getting some penetration.
That was the most exciting thing out of the whole game, if you ask me, is that Mozzie Smith made some impactful plays. He was a beast out there. And that's positive.
Shoot, Maj was slanging them young running backs around like rag dogs.
And you know what, Thomas? Maybe, just maybe, Mozzie's the type of guy who maybe he's a quiet guy. Maybe he hears all the noise. Maybe he's doesn't have the most confidence in himself. And maybe he some kids need, and he's a kid, people. He's a young man. He may be the huge behemoth of a man, but he's a young kid. Maybe he needs to play with a little confidence. Maybe this game gave, oh my God, I can play this way. Because Mark, did you see he was getting off the ball rather quick? There was no hesitation. Splitting the double team. It was just
Tom Landry said you got to give D linemen 3 years. That was Tom Landry's philosophy.
Well, Tom Landry is a smart man. So and I like how Eagle fans want to, compare Mozzie to Jordan Davis. No, compare Mozzie to Nolan Smith, because those were the guys that were on the board when we were picking, when me and Mark and DMV and Phil were at the draft. We were all saying, he looked at me, who do you want? I'm like, wow, give me Joey Porter Jr., give me Nolan Smith. I didn't think Mozzie Smith, because we hadn't drafted a defensive tackle since Russell Maryland, Wade. So who the hell would have thought that would have been anything? But that's who you got to compare Mozzie Smith to, the guys that they were drafted around him, and they're trying to run Nolan Smith out of town in Philly. So Mozzie's actually doing better than Nolan Smith. Sorry, he is. Everybody.
Well, if he can stack up a couple more games like you did here, that changes the narrative all the way around.
No one hasn't shown anything yet. So, I'm excited about it. I thought that was a huge win. That's a divisional win. Was it ugly? Hell yes. It was ugly. It absolutely is. But you have to win ugly games, people. This is the NFL. Not every game is going to be a track meet looking great. McCarthy's got to get his head out of his ass. That's all. Oh, real quick. Did you hear Rex Ryan's comments, Mark?
Oh, that the Cowboys didn't want to pay him?
Yeah, what a loudmouth.
Yeah, bro, you've been out of the league coaching for what, 6 years? Screw you, dude.
Remind me how you've done in your last couple stops, sexy Rexy.
Rex Ryan is a punk, man.
Well, listen, when they interviewed him, I was happy because the players seemed as a coordinator, because he sucked as a head coach. But as a coordinator, his players do play hard for him, but he hasn't done nothing. The last 2 stops were horrendous. So to throw Mike Zimmer under the bus is not cool. I didn't appreciate that. Mike Zimmer's done nothing to nobody. So Mike Zimmer is getting a lot of flack. Like, you knew this scheme wasn't going to be easy of a conversion. You got all these guys used to running something totally opposite. You saw how it could look. Now they got to replicate it. It's not going to be easy, but Well, I'm sure as hell not giving up. There's nobody in the NFC. Mark, when was the last time you saw a team get off to a hot start
and carry it all the way through?
They're not carrying it all the way through.
No.
Minnesota right now are playing good. You talk to me in 10 weeks, okay, and we'll see how good the Minnesota Vikings are.
I think Ginger just cussed you out because she's like, hey, wait a minute, Seattle started out pretty good.
I like Seattle. I like Seattle, Ginger.
She said, screw you, Brian.
Listen, we're just happy to be here, honestly.
I like Seattle. If you've listened to me, Ginger, you know I said that, everybody knows I can't stand the 49ers. So I'm rooting for Seattle. I'm rooting for the Rams. I'm rooting for the Cardinals. One is I need you to win that division. To shut up, flat brim Kyle Shanahan. Shut his ass up. So
if the Niners can come
Monday night against Detroit.
Yeah.
If the Niners can be in third place in that division, it'd be a dream.
Yeah.
Are you ready Monday night, Ginger?
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Who's Seattle playing Monday night?
The Lions.
We're missing four defensive players.
You up in the Pacific Northwest?
No, we're going to Detroit. We're going to Detroit. Detroit.
It's in Detroit. Yeah.
I thought it was in the Pacific Northwest.
No, we're going to their house, and they're fired up to play us.
Either way, Ginger, I think you will probably think that they've exceeded where you thought they were necessarily right now. So you're right now going to Detroit. God forbid you lost. It's not the worst thing in the world. You just got to stay healthy. Don't do what Dallas is doing, losing all your best players. It is what it is. Look at the Eagles tomorrow. AJ Brown's out. They're literally not going to have.
No, AJ Brown and
I think Devontae Smith is still.
I haven't heard anything about Devontae, but I know AJ's definitely out. Probably Lane Johnson's out. So I don't want to hear any excuses because last year we had 5 guys go to IR. All right, so that's this league. I congratulated the Eagles for getting a well-fought win, even though Dracula tried to lose. Dracula tried to give it up. He tried, but the Eagles played really good last week.
We got to figure out what we're going to do that Eagles-Cowboys game in Dallas. It's coming up pretty quick.
In fact,
I'm going. I got my plane flight, so I'll be there.
I've got to get with you, Brian, and we've got to start working on those tickets. In fact, what was crazy was my high school reunion. One of my high school classmates, she's actually in Dallas, and she follows me. She was like, "Wait a minute!" I went to high school with him. Hey, Ace Robinson, how you doing, girl? So she's like, she's like, put me down for a ticket too, because she'd like to go as well.
I thought you didn't want to do a mess.
GG.
Huh?
GG, Mark.
TG.
I said GG, good game.
Oh, good game. Okay, good game. I'm sorry, I didn't know the
sorry
acronym.
About Micah.
Yeah, we're all sorry about Micah and D-Law both. D-Law might go on injured reserve. So next man up.
It's kind of exciting. I don't know. I think it's kind of exciting. I don't want to lose my guys, but it's over. It's over, meaning
Mark,
they're coming back. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We've got one in one of your 2 channels there who's just starting up his channel. Can you give him a shout out or put his link up in both channels?
Who's that?
It's Royals Cowboy.
Royals. I don't. Where?
Oh, you know James Nukes.
He's probably in
him.
the second one.
That's not
I'm
Loyal
looking
Cowboy.
at it. I don't see
Not
it.
Loyal Cowboy. Royal.
RYALS.
I see Coyote. I see Jeffrey. I see Timothy.
Yeah,
I see Randall.
Try the one that I'm in.
Just give him a shout out.
Okay. Well, give him a shout out. Go, Troy. Give him a shout out. I still don't see it.
Hey, everybody subscribe.
Actually, I don't see you either.
Starting out.
Do I have a third channel that's up? Because I don't even see you, Troy.
I'm on your second channel.
He hasn't.
The one that you just got back.
Still don't see it.
You don't see him?
The last one I have Blue. I have Robert.
He was in the main channel, but he hasn't commented
in
a
so
while
you're not
over
gonna
here.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you
he's commented in this chat that I'm in.
Okay, well, post your channel link on there, okay, and then we'll tag it.
Anyway,
there you go.
We're talking about the game. I didn't think you wanted to do a
there you
mass.
go.
I didn't think you wanted to do a mass seating. We just talked about it the other day. I didn't think you wanted to get a lot of tickets. You said everybody fend for themselves.
Well, I mean, we should try and at least get you, me, and of course, Buzzkill, Wade.
Well, I was just gonna say, Wade, are you even gonna want to go now? You seem like it's over.
Well, and Wade, okay, I went with Wade. We lost, and I think he said we're 0-3 when he's gone.
Of course, I'm going.
I mean, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm just trying to say, if I go and we lose, point to Wade, not me.
Of course, I'm going.
I've been to 2 games with you, Mark, and one game with you.
Did we win?
We won it. So.
Okay, all right. So you're the good luck charm.
Well, I don't know. I've been.
So you'll cancel out Wade
in
then.
the last 4 years, and we've won.
Okay.
I've won in Washington.
True.
Where else did I go? I don't know. I can't keep track. But yeah, I haven't been to a loss in a while. So.
All right. Well, let me.
Was the last game that we lost.
Check these out. These are our new for you guys. Look,
stress balls.
There are stress stars.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that.
I can't get no party pass.
So I've got to get these all out for the tailgate members, and if you become a channel member too now, you'll get one of these to go with your shot glass. And these are good because they kind of fit.
Get something for my 6-month people. I told everybody I'd send them.
It's perfect for the fingers.
Put a giant logo on mine.
You ain't get no giant
okay,
logo.
I have to order 300 of them. I'm not going to order 300 with a giant logo. How about it?
No, if I get that, I'm giving
Here's
that
what
to
I'll
my
do
mother,
is
'cause she's a
I'll cross
Cowboys
it
fan.
out with a permanent marker, and I'll get a giant sticker and put on it.
Yeah, put a sticker on it.
Good lady.
There you go.
I still like the football one that I got.
Mark, I give that to my mother since she's a Cowboy fan.
I still have the football, but it's kind of like it's different because you kind of do your palm here. This one you can kind of do your fingers with it because you can get perfectly around them. It's like
Hey, Thomas.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
It's hard to
Just got injured. Mac together.
Who just got injured?
Kador.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He got his bell rung.
JMU scored 60 points again today.
Look, I can't go out like that. I got to see the Cowboys beat the Eagles live action. I can't go out like that.
They'll do it, Wade. They'll do it.
Yeah.
Wade, I hate to say this though, but you're beginning to get like Slep Rock.
When are they playing the Eagles?
November
week
10th.
8. Yeah, week 8 or week
November
9. I can't
10th.
remember.
Yeah. It's the salute
It's
to
like 2
service
weeks after
game.
the
They'll
bye.
have the flag on the field. It's the Sunday before Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Brian, how many jerseys do you have?
Me? I got a few.
He's got a few.
I'm actually giving away this Romo. I have a couple Romos. I'm giving this one away as soon as we reach our number. So that one's going hopefully tomorrow. And I got a Pro Bowl Romo that I want to get rid of too. But
I had one like that. But
is that a Bronco
somebody took
jersey
it.
in the background?
no, that's a Bobby Boucher jersey.
Oh.
Man, hey, nosebleed seats for that game are $300.
Well, if the Eagles lose tomorrow and the Cowboys, it may come down. That's okay. I'm all right with that.
Well,
okay, Mark, I gotta get going. I'll talk to you guys later.
Best of luck to you on Monday night.
Have a good one, Ginger.
Beat up the Lions
Thank
for
you,
us.
you too.
hey, Ginger, are you streaming tomorrow night's game?
Monday night.
Seattle?
You mean Monday night?
Or Monday night.
Monday night's game. Sorry.
Am I streaming it?
I didn't know if you're streaming games yet.
Oh no.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
just
saying if you
watching and
wanted
I do a post
Since
video.
you're in Seattle, you could either, I'm going to be streaming if you want to hop in, or you just hang out for a while, and you could,
Okay.
during the Seattle game or something, or Mark, whatever.
Touchdown, Colorado.
I'm gonna be watching from a corner, so maybe not. It might be
Okay,
off,
all right, yeah, that's how I did it with the Giants. I was watching with one eye open.
Right. Watching for Blue 97. That's the one I'm scared of.
All right.
But take care, guys.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're coming down the home stretch here. I don't have to ask Walker Wade on this one. Do you feel better or worse after the Giants game?
I'll throw you a bone, Mark. Neutral. Neutral.
It was an ugly game, but we won. Listen, Wade, I felt what you were thinking. I just felt like we were going to lose the game. I just felt like everything was going against us. How that game was playing out. I'm like, oh man, we're not going to take advantage of it. I just didn't.
Well, the penalties
I want the
that were going
Cowboys
against
to
us.
win. I just
I don't like how Jerry and Steven like try to find they try to find so much bullshit to grab onto to make it seem like they're doing things
No,
right.
I hear you. I think something's changed though. I don't know. I kind of sense something different with Jerry, like more urgency. I mean, was not everybody not surprised that they got the Dak deal done, whether you like it or not? Just the fact that they got it done was. It's almost like he came in and said, I don't care. And the fact that they gave him everything that Dak wanted, you would have thought they were going to dig in. He won nothing in the negotiation.
True.
Nothing. He got his no trade clause. He got everything he wanted. He got his $60 million. He didn't give Dallas, it wasn't like.
But the Cowboys still got cap room, and they got triggers where they can get money on it too. So it benefited both of them. Now, here's what I'm going to say though.
Jerry's feeling it.
That's what I was going to say. That Jerry Jones is kind of feeling, because it seemed like when they were going to ask him, the fans are kind of upset, and he's like, yeah, they have a right to be, and I'm hoping
keep it on.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The whole fire Jerry, and we've got some more. Fire Jerry shirts that are going out here for channel winners, and I'll give away some more tomorrow. But I think that gets to him. He's granted, it's not changing any of the money that he has in there, but a billionaire's got an ego and wants to be loved by everybody and told that you're great. I think that stuff has had at least a little bit of effect, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them have a big move in here just to kind of quench the thirst of the fans. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised on that. Or am I just crazy and wishing for something that's not going to happen? I'm crazy.
I mean, they traded for Amari Cooper when we were down and out. I mean, I don't know who they would trade for that would, that's the thing. Who's out there that you could trade for that maybe a team would trade a good player to us,
Amari Cooper.
It's got to be a team that's in free fall. It's got to be a team that's in free fall,
Well, I would say Devontae Adams, but he's injured for the next 4 weeks, so that would kill that one. But there are some teams that are going to be looking to move some players.
Amari is perfect. I think that would be a perfect because he already has chemistry with Dak.
I would love Amari Cooper back.
And if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're looking at it and saying we need to blow it up.
Not on a long, expensive deal, right? I don't think.
No, because
I think he just re-signed though.
I think he did, but I don't think it's anything crazy.
Still for like 20-something million. It's not.
Is it really? I don't know.
I mean, he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver last 2 seasons.
Again,
it's pretty
like
solid.
Wade says, if you want to be a legit contender, you don't have to be studs all across the board, but you need another option. God forbid CD has to miss a game. You could almost.
Oh, if CD got hurt, we're cooked.
You could almost give us an L. You could almost give us an L.
Okay, so his contract is for them. His cap number for this year is $8.744 million. And they kicked most of that as into a voidable year. So his cap number next year for them is $22 million, and he's not on the roster.
But you could re-sign him.
They could, yes.
And then stretch it out a little bit and make it even less.
Or you could trade him, and let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see if he's a trade. What happens if we make it a trade post June 1st?
The fact that Jerry and Steven and them just didn't like Amari Cooper, how he practiced, so they got rid of him.
See, they could trade him.
Terrible. Yeah, that's terrible team management. Like
it was a COVID thing. I'm telling you now, it was all they got their butt.
Ego, yeah.
Listen, I'll give Jerry and Steven a pass for the COVID stuff because I don't want to get political, but we were all sold a certain thing, So, he wanted everybody to get the shot regardless of what you felt. And he didn't. He thought for himself, and Jerry got his panties in his bunch. That's
but it's like Jeff Kavanaugh said, that's not smart football. That's not
Jerry's
smart
a jackass,
team building.
But maybe he's, I just think he would consider bringing him back. I don't think it was ever bad under bad terms. Amari hasn't ripped him. Amari didn't pull a Randy Gregory and ripped him on the way out. Amari is a class act, and you can say whatever you want about him. He's an unbelievable route runner, and him and Dak have a great chemistry. Ask the Eagles.
You know, I've given Dak a lot of issues, but Mark, I ain't said much about Dak lately. Dak is the least of my worries right now, people. We got bigger issues.
Dak hit 80% of passing. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about that.
Look, he's 6 TDs, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And no running game.
I was holding my breath.
I mean,
Nice
Dak is
throw.
the last thing on my mind, the issue with this franchise right now.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I do.
Well, maybe now that they got Dak done, they can focus on, and CD, they can focus on something else.
Yeah, and then plus Amari still live in Dallas too. He still got his crib down there.
True.
Yeah, cause he stayed there. They say he stayed there during the off season. Cause he's always seen at the Dallas Mavericks basketball games.
Jerry and them, we don't need Derrick Henry. Proceeds to rush for 200 yards against the Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
Oh man,
I think Derrick Henry was like, treat the Cowboys like Randy Moss did. It's like, you didn't come get me? Okay. I'll show you every time I play you now.
Like, that's the thing. Is everyone in the building kiss asses to Jerry, or like, you know, I'm just wondering, does anyone call him out, like, or does everyone just kiss his ass? I mean,
I think it's that second one that you said, Wade.
Yeah.
They kiss
I
his
know
ass.
Brian Bartis got fired a couple of years ago for doing something or saying something.
people are afraid
crawled
to
his way
tell
back,
them.
but
People are in the building are afraid to tell them anything because they'll probably lose their job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and then plus, you know, everybody has seen.
Tommy, is he that powerful?
Huh?
Is he that powerful? You can't talk back to him.
Oh Lord, yes.
You know, it goes back to 1989 when he first bought the team, when Jerry was firing everybody left and right, and I guess everybody was like, "We need to be on our P's and Q's because I don't want to get fired just for going to the bathroom without telling Jerry."
Yeah, you got to be family. You got to be, your last name got to be Jones, and then maybe you're safe.
I know former players tell him, you know, like I've heard Troy, you know, said he sat down and talked with him, and he does ask him those questions. And Jerry, he's a bullshit artist. He just dances around everything.
Yeah.
Wait, did you hear the Tony Casillas interview on 105.3 The Fan on Friday?
No, I hadn't heard that one.
Not Friday, Thursday morning. Thursday. I don't know if they have it on 105.3 The Fan, but he gives a good insight. He ripped he ripped the Cowboys, but this is before the Giant game. I guess it was Thursday morning. Hell of an interview, and he said it was very fixable. Dallas is very talented, but they are their leaders need to step up, and basically is what he was saying. But it was a real good interview. Tony Casillas was a defensive tackle, played back in the day. If anybody don't know who he was, yeah, I know you do. But Tony Casillas is a class act, and he said this is before the game. He actually said, "I think Dallas can win. They just need to trust Mike Zimmer and play his scheme," and that's exactly what happened. That's what happened in the game. People act like, all of a sudden, nobody's saying Dallas is world beaters, but their run fits. That's Zimmer's scheme. That's what he wants. Obviously, the better the D tackles, the easier it is to run, and the less that the linebackers have to be perfect. But it worked out pretty well. I think.
I don't like the penalties, though.
That's horrendous. That's
it's
coaching.
like Jimmy Johnson says. Jimmy Johnson, like his biggest pet peeve. A undisciplined football team is a bad football team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the Cowboys are a very undisciplined football team.
I said that Thursday
I can
night.
agree with you on that one.
I said that. You know, the discipline is poor, man. The discipline is poor.
That's why I didn't like the idea. Remember, just them passing the ball at 3rd and 1, not giving help to Guyton. And what happened? Holding call. Now it's 3rd and 11. Run the damn ball when it's 3rd and 1 right now. That's easy. It's just run it. Did you see the push that we're getting behind BB?
Yeah.
All you got to do is hand the ball up to either.
Well, that can't be stopped with the quarterback sneak. If you've noticed, anytime he's
that shit.
he's getting 2-3 yards because BB is just
He is a beast.
Yeah.
He's a juggernaut.
So that's
but
exactly.
If you saw it, he never ran anything. He didn't run the ball at all, basically, Thursday night.
But yeah, Brian, I remember Tony Casillas. I remember him when he was at Oklahoma.
I know you knew, but I didn't know if a lot of the people knew. You know, Tony Casillas. It was a good interview, and he was hammering him. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of stuff that's happening is not good. And if he loses this Giant game,
if you think about it, he was under Zimmer. He was under Zimmer. On
exactly. He said he knows Zimmer very well. You just have to play this game and trust. That's why I kept saying it was the linebackers. Everybody's coming down on the D tackles. It wasn't the D tackles, people. They could only do so much. The linebackers have to fill. That's what it is. And Overshown did not have a good game against the Saints or the Ravens. He's a young player. That's why I brought up we're playing a lot of young guys, because that's a fact. We're playing a lot of young guys, and they're going to get better. Hopefully, Wade, we can win one of the next 2 games. Then we're cooking with gas. Then we're right where we thought we were going to be. So, again, we'll see. Long season.
Yeah, the south part of the schedule's after the Eagles.
If they lose both, then okay, then it sucks. And we'll have to see if they can, are you afraid of the Niners? I'm not saying we're beating the Niners.
I don't think no one's running away with the East this year.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And I don't think anybody's
would it be
away.
a surprise to anybody if the Eagles lose tomorrow in Tampa?
Nope.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do lose.
Bobby Mineski, Jerry is buying Diddy's baby oil on. Oh my God. Okay. All right. He's buying all this baby oil. Shit. Okay.
What's the weather forecast for
Never mind.
Mark, what is the weather forecast for the Eagle Tampa Bay Buccaneer game tomorrow?
Well, the storm is passed. I'm curious to see how.
It should be partly cloudy.
But the question is, I mean, I don't know how bad it was in Tampa, but Tampa is real close to Clearwater, and I saw floodwaters in there. I'm going to say I left Waynesboro yesterday about 12 o'clock to get back, and the wind gusts were starting to pick up there, and the remnants of the storm were hell. Literally, they were giving out sandbags down there, and my in-laws and stuff just got power back within the last hour from yesterday. So I'm imagining what it must have been like down in Tampa and everything else. I have not seen Angelica Barone and her puppies, but her and Karen Dugan were definitely in the the path of this thing in Florida.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that everybody down there is okay. But I'm looking at trees left and right that were knocked down, even up here.
Oh, Jerry King Lawler.
Yeah, because my in-laws, they was in the middle of that path, but they cool though. I talked to my sister and her husband, and they said they had talked to him, and they said that everybody was okay.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, are you
I'm out,
tailgating
everybody.
this
I
year?
gotta go get a shower.
Yeah, I'm going to tailgate at FedEx Field. In fact, I need to work on that too. I got a text from them. They're actually selling tickets in Washington. So getting them together is a little bit of an issue at this point with the game being early, as opposed to last year when they were out of everything. So I've got a lot of work I need to do, don't I?
Sounds like it.
Walker Wade, game time. I got to definitely get with you guys so we can start getting this stuff together for this trip
Tommy,
to
you
the
going
southern far
back out
away.
there again?
All right, I'll talk to everybody a little later.
I'm going to the last game down in Arlington, January the 5th against the Commanders. I'm going to that game, but I want to go to that November 10th game real bad. I thought me and my cousin was going, but he declined because he's going to the game in Washington.
Okay.
Giant game?
Huh?
You talking about the Giants game?
No, the Eagles game.
No, the Cowboys and the Commanders game.
Oh yeah, in Dallas,
in Washington.
Well, I'm going to be there.
You broadcasting tomorrow then, Mark, or?
Yeah, I'll be live streaming all day tomorrow.
All day?
Yeah, it'll be nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
Mark, how's your son Leo doing?
I'm surprised I didn't see him here today. So I guess he's incognito, worried about his game, and he'll show up if they win.
And Mark,
Of course he will.
Cot Pilzo acted a fool the other day on this video.
Before the game or after it?
Oh yeah, he tried to do it, Mark. He did a Mark impersonation. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
He was so verbal after the game Thursday night.
One thing, Cot Pizza is an entertainer for real.
As he said many, many times, he was out of the Mark Holmes business. Well, Mark Holmes is out of the Cot Pizza business. So y'all feel free to enjoy. I've actually tried to do him a favor because the Eagles have been so inept. Okay. So inept. I mean, this is, you know how long it's been since the Giants. I'm sorry, Aisha, to do this to you. Neighbors was in junior high school the last time the Giants beat the Cowboys.
He was.
That's
okay.
a while. That's
Barack Obama was still president. Okay. All right. It's been that long. Okay. So, I'm just like, look, don't hurt yourself, bro. Just forget it. All right. The Giants are going to lose to Dak Prescott and you're going to pay taxes. Okay. Those are pretty much the two guaranteed things that you have in life right now.
I just
I'm just glad we didn't get blown out by 40 points again.
So small victories.
Yeah.
I just go on that just to get a laugh.
Yeah. Well, all right, good people. We've had some fun here, and hopefully tomorrow we'll see the Eagles lose, we'll see the Commanders lose, we'll see the 49ers lose, and we'll see the Lions lose. And then we'd be real happy.
Are you gonna have a Philly 500? Interception. Are you gonna have a Philly camp? Oh
yeah, I'll have a Philly camp. I'll be live streaming tomorrow. I'll be live streaming tomorrow.
Thomas just saw square.
What game are you watching, Thomas?
Oklahoma and Auburn.
Oh,
Oklahoma.
I'm watching Colorado and UCF.
Yeah, Oklahoma just ran back a pick 6.
Nice. Oh, that's going to be a good game next week. UCLA and Penn State.
Ooh, that's a Big Ten battle.
Yep. At Penn State.
Happy Valley.
Let's see if them Cowboys can step up the next 2 weeks, Mark.
Yeah.
I think they will.
If they do, then it's a totally different look. I mean, it's a chance.
I think they will.
Mark,
my buddy over here, he's a Falcons fan. He's sitting next to me. He said 2-4 going into the bye.
No,
quit being delusional. That's what he said.
All right.
Mark, I was thinking,
4-2.
If you remember last year, we had the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Started slow. After that San Francisco loss, we just ran with it and won the division.
Yep.
I think they'll do it again this year. I don't think we need to be too worried about them right now.
You got to rely on Dak to move that ball and carve them up.
You're right. It's all on Dak. There ain't no lie.
Yep. Dak told y'all, jump off if you want to.
Yep.
He's the best player. Hey, I give Dak a lot of shit. He's the best player on the team right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
He's the best player.
I think they need to give Dalvin Cook a
fall out of my chair. Wade said that. Okay. All right.
I mean, he hasn't been the problem this year. Everyone else has.
Yeah, you're right.
Defense giving up the run, people dropping passes, wide receivers can't get open, running backs can't run the ball. I mean, Dak's doing all he can do.
I've been saying that for years, but yeah.
Throwing shovel passes to people.
Let's see if they'll decide to get him some help. Alrighty, good
Hopefully
people.
he'll run the ball a
Remember,
little bit more.
you played to win the game.
You played to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.